What's up guys, it is Alex here and we are bringing you a review or a first impressions of F1 2012 and the demo. Now in the background it is a bit of the season's challenge mode where you have to beat your rival. In this one I had to beat Sergio Perez. He started a couple of places ahead of me. I'm racing in Bruno Senna's Williams. I get a pretty decent start. And this is probably I think this is my first ever time racing on this, so I'm sorry about the scruffy gameplay guys. You're going to have to bear with me whilst I learn this game a little bit, because it's still a little bit new to me and a bit confusing about what certain stuff does. But I'm enjoying the game. It's a very decent demo. It's a bit short for my liking, but you know, it's only a demo obviously, so we won't expect too much. And first thing I want to talk about in this review, or first impressions, is the sort of handling for the game, because we'll see an example right here when I try and get around Perez. I meant to steer a little bit, so I didn't go into the gravel obviously, but I wanted to steer enough that I was like still on the pavement and didn't hit Perez. And I still feel it's sort of a bit too sensitive, and it means that I can't really do the overtakes I want to, and it also means I'm sort of missing the apex of the corners and cutting corners, which obviously is a bad thing, and I don't want to do that. And you can see here, I steered too much again and nearly hit the barrier, very nearly hit the barrier whilst trying to overtake Perez and my teammate Maldonado. And I still think that if you can change that, that would be cool. I don't know whether you can. I haven't looked too much into it. I didn't think you could. I only thought that was in steering wheels where you could actually change the saturation of the steering. But if you do know how to sort of customize it on a controller, that'd be nice to leave down in the comment section below. And that's one thing as well, is the pad. They said that they were going to improve the pad vastly, and for me I still think the pad's probably worse in this game than it was in previous games. And that's only for me because obviously the steering is super sensitive, and it just doesn't feel as sort of real. Not, it obviously feels a bit more realistic as a game and racing a Formula 1 car, but it just doesn't feel right when you're holding it in the pad, and it's still like the controls feel a little bit weird, and I'm not too sure what they're trying to accomplish, you know, trying to improve the pad vastly. I personally would go towards two with the steering wheels and more sort of hardcore into the game. And you can see their super late move into that corner, nearly overtaking Mazda but getting it wrong totally. So that's the steering out of the way. Let's talk about the graphics and the colours and all that good stuff. Now I have edited this a little bit in Soli Vegas so it doesn't look exactly like this in game, but I can, and I'm pleased to report that the colours and the lighting looks a lot better in this game than in 2011 and 2010. 2010 was really sort of dreary and boring to watch. 2011 was pretty good, it had some really vibrant colours, but it's really the lighting and stuff wasn't great. But in this game they sort of pulled it all together. They've took the good stuff out of everything and it looks pretty good. I mean, obviously the graphics aren't improving that much from year to year because of the Xbox and PS3, but for PC, hopefully you can go and check out some gameplay somewhere on YouTube, and you can see that the gameplay on PC must be a lot better because they've improved the graphics immensely, and the lighting and the colours. For PC it will just be amazing, and hopefully it's better or as good as R Factor and some of these games on PC, which I suppose Codemasters is trying to aim to beat, but you can't really do that when you're not really aiming for the realism. I think now we should talk about realism. Now I just mentioned it at the end of that. But I think the realism of the cars really is a bit more like it would be in real life. The car is really sensitive. I don't know if that's just a pad obviously, but when you open the DRS it's like shaking about and you're like whoa. Well, obviously no, you're not like whoa when you're holding it, but you can feel it. You don't want to turn in really with vibrant movements. You want to sort of be very calm with the steering wheel when you've got the DRS open, because there are certain tracks and certain parts of this track where you've got the DRS open and there's a corner. I don't really know what you call this corner, but you get the DRS through this corner and you don't want to be steering too much into the corner with the DRS open because you could spin the car. And overall I think the car really feels a little bit more realistic. Obviously I haven't driven an F1 car, but I've driven go-karts and it's a little bit like it I suppose. And there, you saw that? Hamilton retired from the race, and obviously there isn't safety cars and damage in the demo, but Hamilton retired from the race, I think, there, where he had something wrong with this car, and it brought out the yellow flags and all the cars went into formation. Nobody overtook, and I remember in previous games when the yellow flag was out, the AI still overtook and all that stuff. So it's good that they've actually finally made it so that the AI actually respond to the yellow flags. And I think if I overtook somebody in the yellow flags now, I'd get a penalty, which is a good thing to add to the realism. And sort of that's what I want in the game, is it to be a bit like the actual F1. I mean, I realise it's not going to be a super sim on Xbox, but I just want those little things, and it is those little things that have made 2012 a vast improvement on 2011. Because when you really think about it, 2012 isn't really a huge improvement on 2011, but the small things that they have done to the game, the lighting, the colours, that make it so the DRS is more realistic, the car turns in a bit more realistic, the steering wheel not turning as much, they add to the game immensely without really having to put a huge amount of effort in. And it could have been 2011 that was this amazing game, but I think 2012 is going to be an amazing game. And I'm going to take a guess and say the online is going to be a lot better this year, because when you go on the grass in this demo, or when you go off the track in this demo, you actually get sort of slowed down by the computer system. This makes me think that in online it will do this when you automatically try and cut a corner to get ahead of people. This will be good because it means it will stop people ramming into each other, and I've always liked this idea of having a realistic damage model online to stop people crashing, but then that is unfair on the people that really had no fault of their own, but they still got crashed into. So I think we've talked about most things in this video, and obviously the replay cameras is something that I've liked as well. It's a bit of an improvement on 2011. It's a shame that you can't go from car to car. I don't know whether that's just a demo, but I assume it will be in the full game as well, where you can't actually go from car to car. But obviously the replay camera is a lot nicer. The T-cam is a nice feature to watch back, but I certainly don't like racing on it, the offset T-cam that is. And what I want to do is just sort of give my overall view on the game. So we've had it about 24 hours now, just over 24 hours really, and I want to give my honest opinion on it and give it a fair marking out of 10. So overall, if we look at this demo, and I assume the game is going to be pretty similar to this in most areas, we look at the AI, the colours of the game, the lighting of the game, and the responsiveness of the steering wheel and all that stuff. Let's put it all into one and give it a fair rating out of 10. I think it's pretty obvious to say that this game isn't a 9 or an 8 or a 10 out of 10, if that made any sense. I won't say 8, 9 or 10 out of 10, because it really has some flaws which are a little bit annoying, where the AI are just kind of easy on the hard mode, and if it's really like this for all of the season challenging, it's going to be a bit disappointing. But you know, it's their game. Obviously they realise that lots of people are going to be coming new into this game and maybe not going to be great at the game. But yeah, I think overall I'm going to have to give it a 7 out of 10 for the fact that the AI really wasn't great in the young drivers test or this Monza race either. And the other little things where you can't change from car to car in the replay, there isn't like an upload to YouTube button in the replay section. That sort of stuff makes me think that it isn't really a polished game. But this is just the first impressions, obviously, guys, and it's obviously only the demo, so we're not sure what's going to actually be in the full game. But guys, that is pretty much it. I've enjoyed the demo so far. Hopefully I can bring out some more content, and hopefully the full game will be sort of an improvement on the demo, which is what a lot of us hope obviously it will be like. But guys, that is pretty much it. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. That would be really awesome. But thank you all for watching. It's been Alex, and I'm out here. Bye.